Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some of the stocks on the move today. Emily Grafeo joins us out of San Francisco. Emily, what do you got?
All right, well, there's not a lot of movement on the index level, but under the hood, there is a lot moving. Affirm Holdings is down 13%. They had earnings today. Remember, this is the buy now, pay later company. The earnings were actually pretty positive, but analysts had noted that the expectations were really high heading in and that the guidance might be conservative. So they now see their year forecast revenue $3.16 billion to $3.19 billion. That was actually higher than what they had seen previously, but we saw some movement here on the street. Mizuho cut their price target on the stock. Bank of America raised. And then the CEO told Bloomberg TV today that they're still seeing people spending. Consumers are spending. A mixed bag with these earnings. But when you look at the movement in the stock price today, it's very clear that it is moving lower, down again like 13% right now.
Well, talking of spending, I'm also thinking about the consumer, travel demand, all of that. You're also looking at Expedia. What's happening there?
That's right. So they're down 12%. It was the biggest intraday drop in a year. This is a very similar story with Expedia that we've seen with Airbnb, with bookings, with a lot of those travel-related companies this earnings season, that they're pulling back their guidance for what's going to come ahead, given macro uncertainty. If you look at their actual results for Expedia, they cut their gross bookings growth forecast for 2025. So they now see gross bookings growth up 2% to 4%. They had previously seen up 4 to 6%. The revenue also missed. And, JP Morgan said that their higher exposure to the U.S. is not ideal given the current backdrop. So higher versus some of those competitors. And then, of course, given that there's heightened macro uncertainty in the U.S., maybe versus some of those international markets.
Are you an Expedia user, or is there a specific age demographic that uses it?
I don't know what the specific age demographic is. I don't use it. I always think it's better to book the hotel directly through the hotel website.
Fair.
But I don't know. I'm personally not an Expedia user, but they clearly do have enough people that they are a publicly traded company with a stock price on the move.
It's funny. I'm 51 years old, right? My wife is 33. Mm-hmm. So I go straight to Expedia. And then she yells at me every time.
It's your demo.
It's because of my age, right? I think the old people use Expedia.
I don't want to call you out.
Young people say that's not the right way to do it.
I mean, I was going to say the people I was thinking of is, 50s, 60s. They love Expedia.
And the kids, what do you use? Like Kayak, Travel Worm?
Hopper even.
Hopper?
Yeah. I'd say so. Airbnb, all the others. You've also got eyes on Tesla. What's going on there?
Tesla is almost a $1 trillion company again.
Yeah, it's up like 5% right now. It's leading the Mag 7 names. It's, outperforming the NASDAQ 100 on a day when, again, indexes are flat. I don't know if there's any fundamental news to this upward move today in Tesla. I did ask a couple traders. One person pointed out maybe there's some short covering going on here. Traders who were short the stock preparing for potentially what could be good news between those U.S.-China trade talks this weekend. They don't want to be short Tesla going into that in case something good does happen that's pushing up the stock. And then there also could be some technical movement here. Tesla did breach above its 200-day moving average for the first time since March. So oftentimes traders see that as a positive technical signal and that the stock can continue to move higher after it breaches that upward level.
By the way, do the kids still want a Tesla? Emily, do you, do your classmates, do you want a Tesla?
Yeah, I mean, I do live in New York City, so people don't really think about buying cars, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you're from the burbs. I meant the people that you went to school with.
The cool people.
Do they want a Tesla now?
I would say that, by and large, there's been a reputational hit. Like, if you buy a Tesla, you're buying into that you're still an Elon Musk fan. So depending on your opinions on Musk. But I think that's what the street thinks, too, that this stock is still very much tied to the whims of Elon Musk.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.